Hello everybody and welcome to my channel, Muppet Megan's Makeup. My name is Megan and today I will be doing a get ready for the Gwen Stefani concert using the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani eyeshadow palette. The first product I'm going to use is the Boo Boo Cover Up Concealer, and I am just going to put a small dollop of this on the back of my hand, and I'm going to take my e.l.f. concealer brush and I'm just going to take a little bit of the product and apply it anywhere that I feel that I need to cover up any blemishes before I go in with my foundation and lighter concealer, because I don't like to conceal blemishes with the same concealer that I use under my eyes. I feel like it draws more attention to the blemishes, so I do use a more orangey tinted concealer for concealing blemishes. And I'm just taking my ring finger and using tapping motions to blend that concealer in and onto my blemishes. I feel that it gives it a nice cover and blends it in without harming the blemishes, and it's just gentle enough. The next product I'm going in with is the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 Foundation and Concealer in the shade 1 Creamy Vanilla, and I'm going to put another dollop of that on the back of my hand and take my foundation brush and a kabuki brush that I got from Morphe, and I'm just going to apply it to my face with the foundation brush, and then I am going to blend in the foundation all over my face with the kabuki brush, and that gives it a nice finish, and it kind of shears the foundation out so that it's not as heavy and cakey looking. Now I am going in with my Maybelline Instant Age Rewinder Eraser Dark Circles Treatment Concealer in the shade Light Pale, and I'm just going to apply this in a small triangle under the eyes just to brighten up the under eye area and conceal any dark circles that are under there, and then I'm going to blend that out with my e.l.f. stippling brush, and then I'm going to repeat the same step on the other eye. Now with my e.l.f. mineral powder brush, I'm going to take my NYX HD Studio Photogenic Finishing Powder and just lightly put the brush in and tap the excess off because it is very powdery. And I'm just going to apply it in downward sweeping motions under the under eye area just to set my concealer and make sure that it doesn't crease and budge during the concert, because I really want my makeup to stay. I know that it's going to be hot and sweaty, and I know that I need to set my concealer and just any spots on my T-zone and whatnot that I know are going to get kind of oily. And now I'm taking my Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer in the shade Ticket to Brazil and my kabuki brush from Morphe that I used before my foundation. And I'm going to apply the bronzer just to bronze up my face a little bit and contour a little bit by the cheeks, but nothing too hard and defined. Now using my Wet n Wild Color Icon Ombre Blush in the shade The Princess Daiquiris, I am going to take my e.l.f. blush brush and just lightly go up and down the blush and then apply it to the apples of my cheek and swoosh it outwards just to get that splash of pink on top of my bronzer. Now I've already used a spoolie to brush out my brows, but I'm going to take the Benefit Give Me Brow in the shade 5. And I'm going to just brush that through my brows. I apologize, I was trying to get close enough to the mirror and I didn't realize that I was going to be a little cut out of my video, but I am taking this and just lightly brushing it through my brows, and then I'll make any touch-ups with a Q-tip after I have brushed it through my brows. Now I'm going to take my Urban Decay Primer Potion, the original one, and just apply this to my eyelids with the applicator and then blend it all over my eyelids using my fingers before I put on the eyeshadows. I find that using this primer just makes a nice base and it hides the veins in my eyes, and it just makes shadows go on nice and smoothly and evenly and not crease. Finally, I am going in with my Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette, and I am grabbing some of my brushes. I'm using a overall shader brush to take the shade Stark and just tap my brush in there a little bit. And I always make sure to tap off the excess off the brush because they are a little powdery. And I'm just taking the shade and applying it all over the lid just to really set the primer potion and just give my eyes a nice base to start working with before I start applying crease shades and all other shades and just trying to blend them in. Now I'm just grabbing a couple of my trusty brushes that I will be using in the creases. I have a couple of Morphe blender brushes and crease brushes. Now I'm taking my Meili rounded blender brush and I'm taking the shade Anaheim, and I'm just going to tap my brush in there and tap off the excess. And I'm going to use this as my overall crease shade as to add dimension to the look. So I want to start with my lightest shade, so I picked Anaheim because it is a matte shade, and I'm just going to apply that all over the crease on both eyelids. Now I am going in with my Morphe M322 brush, and I'm just going to take the shade Zone and tap it in there and then tap off the excess off the brush, and I'm just going to apply this like deeper into my crease, more toward the lid, and just leaning more towards the outer part of the crease and bringing it slightly inward toward the inner eye, but focusing it more on the outer portion of the crease just to give it that dimension and add another color before I go in. And now I am taking my Morphe E23 brush and I'm just blending the two shades together and making them blend and meld so well together as to not cause any harsh lines in my eyeshadow. Now I'm going in with my Morphe M506 brush, and I'm just going to take the shade Punk and lightly tap my brush in it and tap the excess off. I want to make sure that I get some product but not too much because this is a very pigmented color, and I'm just going to apply this lightly to the outer corner of my eye and the outer corner of the crease and just blend that in and make sure I really get it into that outer corner and give it that pop of a little bit of color but still in the neutral. And then I'm just going to blend it in slightly in a little farther into the crease but not too far. Now I'm going back with my Morphe M322 brush and taking that shade Punk and really just smoking it out on the lower lash line. And I apologize, I was trying to get closer to the mirror and I did not realize I was out of the line of the camera, but I am taking that shade Punk again and just really applying it to the lower lash line as to make it pop and just give it that pop of color. Now I'm going in with a regular eyeshadow brush, and I'm just taking that shade Baby, and it's a very shimmery shade, and I'm just going to apply that into the inner corner of my eye and spread it about halfway through my eyelid and blend that in with the other colors that I already have going on my eye look. And now I am going in with my Rimmel Exaggerate in the shade 212 Rich Brown, and I'm just going to tight line my eyes with this. I'm sorry I went out of range. I had to get close enough to the mirror to see too tight line, but I am tight lining my eyes with this. I'm not doing any crazy winged liner or any regular liner. I'm just tight lining so that it gives the appearance of having eyeliner on, and it completes the look when you tight line. There's no stop right where your lash line is, and I think it just really completes the look. Now I am going to grab my L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara and just apply this to both the upper and lower lashes because it adds nice volume, and I think it just makes the eyelashes really pop. Lastly, I'm going in with the ColourPop lipstick in the shade Lumiere. It's one of their matte shades, and I just applied this all over my lip, and that is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed my get ready with me using my Gwen Stefani palette. I am off to go see Gwen Stefani in concert tonight. So give this video a big thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!